In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why your manifestation practice isn't working, and it has everything to do with the 4 elemental forces that secretly govern your existence. You'll discover the hidden language of earth, water, air, and fire that's been speaking to you your entire life without you knowing it. You'll learn the exact technique that transforms frustration into flow, the seasonal alignment practice that multiplies your manifestation power, and the one mistake that 97% of people make when trying to balance their 4 soul aspects. Today, I'm exposing the exact ancient system they've used to maintain control while keeping the masses disempowered. Every time you feel stuck, drained, or blocked from achieving your goals, it's because one of these 4 elements is working against you rather than for you. This has indeed been hidden from underneath your noses. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to realign these forces and reclaim the power that's rightfully yours. What if I told you that the most powerful knowledge system in history has been hidden in plain sight for thousands of years? A system so profound that those who truly understand it can shape reality itself. I'm talking about the 4 elements: earth, water, air, and fire. An ancient coding system for understanding human consciousness and manifestation that has been deliberately kept from you. This isn't just some new age concept or spiritual symbolism. The evidence is overwhelming. In ancient Greece, the philosopher Empedocles proposed that all matter in the cosmos was composed of these 4 elements, interacting in various ways to create the physical world. This wasn't just his random idea. It became the foundation of Greek philosophy and influenced countless traditions that followed. But here's where it gets interesting. This same knowledge appears in civilizations that had no contact with each other. The Egyptian mystery schools emphasize these 4 elements as essential to spiritual development, teaching initiates to harness these elements to achieve balance and mastery over their lives. Meanwhile, across the world in India, these elements became integral to Ayurveda and yoga, corresponding to different body types and influencing emotional and physical health. Even in China, similar concepts emerged through the Wu Xing, the 5 elements theory. The question you should be asking is, why would virtually every advanced ancient civilization independently arrive at the same system? The answer is simple, but shocking, because it's true. These elements are the actual building blocks of reality, both physical and metaphysical. Yet, when was the last time your school taught you how to work with these elements? When did any mainstream institution show you how to harness these forces for manifestation and personal power? Exactly. This knowledge has been systematically removed from public education and understanding. Throughout history, mystery schools like the Eleusinian Mysteries in Greece and the Egyptian priesthood taught these secrets only to carefully selected initiates. This wasn't accidental. The elite understood that this knowledge equals power, the power to align the 4 bodies within yourself: physical, earth; emotional, water; mental, air; and spiritual, fire. These aren't abstract concepts, but the very architecture of your consciousness and your ability to manifest reality. Consider this. What do you think powerful figures throughout history have studied in their secret societies and private meetings? Not the watered-down education given to the masses. They've studied these elemental forces and how to harness them for control and manifestation. While you were taught to memorize dates and formulas, they were learning to manipulate reality through elemental mastery. The esoteric interpretations of the 4 Gospels reveal just how deep this goes. Each Gospel wasn't just telling a story, they were encoding teachings related to the 4 elements. with each representing a different aspect of human consciousness. This hidden knowledge, preserved within mystery traditions, was designed to guide individuals toward personal mastery and spiritual awakening. Yet religious authorities have persistently obscured these interpretations to maintain their position as intermediaries between you and divine power. Think about your own life right now. Are you struggling to manifest what you truly desire? Do your efforts seem to hit invisible barriers? The reason is both simple and profound. Your 4 elemental bodies are out of alignment. When your physical body, earth, is depleted, your emotional body, water, is turbulent, your mental body, air, is cluttered, and your spiritual body, fire, is dimmed, they create internal conflict that cancels out your manifestation power. It's like trying to drive a car with one wheel spinning forward, another backward, and 2 going sideways. No matter how much gas you give it, you'll just spin in circles. This is exactly what's happening when you try to manifest from a state of elemental misalignment. This misalignment starts at your foundation, the physical body governed by the earth element. When your elemental wheels are spinning in different directions, the first casualty is always your physical vessel. Your ancestors wielded manifestation abilities that would seem almost supernatural today. Yet most modern humans can barely summon the energy to complete their daily tasks. What's changed? The systematic poisoning of your earth element, the very foundation that powers all manifestation. Your body isn't just transportation for your consciousness, it's the literal grounding point where all manifestation begins. Every cell contains the blueprint for reality creation, but this power has been deliberately compromised. The chronic fatigue plaguing millions isn't random. It's the direct result of an earth element in crisis. Think about how your average day unfolds. You wake to artificial light that immediately disrupts your circadian rhythm. You consume processed foods engineered to hijack your brain chemistry rather than nourish your cells. You spend hours bathed in the glow of screens that further distort your natural biorhythms. By nightfall, when ancient humans would be connecting to cosmic energies, you're likely staring at yet another screen, completely disconnected from the natural world that would restore your earth element. What most manifestation teachers won't tell you is that chronic stress doesn't just feel uncomfortable. It creates cascading biochemical reactions that quite literally poison your manifestation potential. Each time you enter fight or flight mode, your body diverts energy away from healing and regeneration. Instead of creating your desired reality, your biochemistry is busy just keeping you alive. Your nervous system wasn't designed for constant alerts, notifications, and deadlines. This perpetual state of low-grade emergency forces your body to prioritize immediate survival over creation. The anxiety you feel isn't just an emotion. It's a biochemical saboteur draining the very energy you need to manifest effectively. Pay attention to the messages your body has been sending. That mysterious digestive issue, the persistent headaches, the brain fog that descends without warning. These aren't random malfunctions. They're desperate signals that your earth element is critically depleted. Every unusual pain or strange symptom is your physical body trying to communicate that your manifestation foundation is crumbling. Ancient cultures understood this connection intimately. They maintained practices specifically designed to keep the earth element balanced and powerful. Grounding rituals where bare feet connected directly to soil allowed them to literally discharge disruptive energies and recharge their manifestation batteries. Seasonal eating patterns ensured their physical bodies remained aligned with natural cycles. Dawn to dusk living synchronized their internal rhythms with cosmic patterns. amplifying their manifestation abilities. These weren't superstitious behaviors. They were sophisticated bioenergetic technologies for maintaining earth element integrity. Yet modern life has abandoned nearly all of these practices, replacing them with artificial environments that actively deplete your physical power center. The consequences extend far beyond just feeling tired. When your earth element is compromised, the electromagnetic field generated by your heart, the very field that communicates your desires to the universe, becomes weak and distorted. Your manifestations fail not because you're doing the mental work incorrectly, but because your physical foundation lacks the power to broadcast them with sufficient strength. This explains why visualization alone often fails to produce results. You can mentally picture your desires with perfect clarity, but if your earth element is depleted, those images lack the energetic momentum to materialize. It's like trying to broadcast a radio signal with dead batteries. The most alarming aspect is how this depletion has been normalized. Society has convinced you that constant fatigue, brain fog, and mysterious ailments are just part of modern life, rather than symptoms of a critical manifestation emergency. You've been programmed to ignore these warning signs, treating them with quick fixes rather than addressing the fundamental earth element crisis beneath them. Those quick fixes for your physical symptoms are just scratching the surface of what's really happening inside you. Imagine this: you're over 70% water, and that water is actively recording every single emotion you've ever experienced. This isn't science fiction. It's cutting-edge research that mainstream science acknowledges but rarely discusses publicly. Your emotional body, governed by the water element, isn't just feeling emotions. It's storing them in liquid memory, permanently altering your ability to manifest what you truly desire. The revolutionary work of Dr. Masaru Emoto revealed something that should have transformed our understanding of reality forever. In his groundbreaking experiments, water exposed to positive words like love and gratitude formed breathtakingly beautiful, symmetrical ice crystals when frozen. But when exposed to negative words, the same water produced distorted, chaotic structures, physically changed by nothing more than the emotions directed at it. Think about this. If water in a beaker can physically transform its structure based on the emotions it encounters, what's happening to the water inside your body right now? Your emotions aren't abstract concepts. They're energy in motion with specific frequencies that ripple through your entire being. Love and gratitude vibrate at distinctly higher frequencies than fear and anger. When negative emotions dominate your emotional landscape, they create dissonant frequencies that literally distort your manifestation field. It's like trying to broadcast a clear signal through static. The message gets corrupted before it ever reaches its destination. This explains why so many manifestation teachers tell you to raise your vibration without explaining the actual mechanics. They don't understand that your emotional body, your water element, is the physical medium through which manifestation occurs. The frequencies of your emotions are being recorded and amplified by the water in your cells, creating either harmony or chaos in your energy field. What's even more alarming is how emotional trauma creates what somatic psychology calls frozen energy patterns within your water element. These aren't metaphorical. They're literal energy distortions that continuously broadcast limiting frequencies without your conscious awareness. That childhood humiliation, that heartbreak, that moment of intense fear, they're all still playing on repeat in your emotional body's water memory, shaping your reality decades later. Are you ready for the truth about why therapy and positive thinking often fail to create lasting change? Because words and conscious processing alone can't reprogram the water element. These approaches are attempting to solve a frequency problem with logic, like trying to fix a radio's reception by explaining the problem to it. Your emotional body operates on an entirely different system that requires energetic transformation, not just intellectual understanding. Ancient cultures intuitively understood this water-emotion connection. The Japanese practice of water purification wasn't just symbolic. It was a practical application of water's ability to absorb and transform emotional energies. Native American healing ceremonies centered around water for the same reason. These weren't primitive superstitions. They were sophisticated emotional frequency technologies that modern science is only beginning to rediscover. While scientific skeptics question Emoto's methodology, they can't explain away the observable phenomenon that emotions impact physical health, something that makes perfect sense when you understand water's role as the carrier of emotional frequency. The medical establishment reluctantly acknowledges the placebo effect, but refuses to explore its implications. That consciousness directly influences physical matter through the water medium. Of the 4 elemental bodies, which one requires immediate attention for most people? It's your emotional body, your water element. Society has conditioned you to suppress emotions rather than transform them. Don't cry. Toughen up. Get over it. These cultural commands have created generations of people with emotional bodies in crisis. Their water elements polluted with stagnant, unprocessed feelings, creating massive manifestation blockages. While your emotional body drowns in unprocessed feelings, your mental body, the air element, has been systematically hijacked without your knowledge or consent. The invisible architecture of your mind wasn't designed by you, but by external forces that benefit from keeping your consciousness contained within artificial boundaries. Think about this. How can you manifest your desires when the very framework of your thinking was engineered to prevent you from accessing your full potential? Your mental body serves as the literal architect of your reality. Every thought, belief, and mental pattern you hold isn't just influencing what you experience, it's actively creating the boundaries of what you believe is possible in the first place. The air element within you doesn't just interpret reality, it constructs it. What makes this mental hijacking so insidious is that you've been conditioned to believe these thoughts are your own. From childhood, your mental patterns were programmed through education systems designed not to expand consciousness, but to create compliant workers. Media algorithms feed you carefully curated information that reinforces existing beliefs, rather than challenging them. Social media platforms exploit cognitive biases to keep you trapped in mental echo chambers that feel comfortable but severely limit your perception. The placebo effect stands as irrefutable scientific evidence of the mind's reality-creating power. When patients believe they're receiving effective treatment, their symptoms improve even when given sugar pills instead of actual medication. This isn't just positive thinking, it's your mental body literally altering your physical reality through belief alone. The medical establishment acknowledges this phenomenon, but carefully avoids exploring its profound implications. If belief can heal the body without physical intervention, what other aspects of reality might your thoughts be creating? 2 people can inhabit the same physical space, yet experience completely different realities based solely on their mental programming. One person walks through a crowded street feeling connection and opportunity. Another feels threat and isolation. Same external world, radically different experiences, all because of the air element's filtering system. Your mental body doesn't just perceive reality, it creates the lens through which all perception occurs. The most dangerous thought loops aren't the obviously negative ones, but the limiting beliefs that seem rational and protective. Be realistic. Don't get your hopes up. People like us don't do things like that. These seemingly innocent cautions act as invisible prison bars, keeping your manifestation abilities safely contained within society's acceptable boundaries. Cognitive biases, mental shortcuts your brain takes to make sense of information, further distort your perception. Confirmation bias ensures you notice only evidence that supports your existing beliefs while filtering out contradicting information. Negativity bias makes threats and problems appear larger than opportunities. These biases aren't random glitches. They're systematically exploited by those who benefit from keeping your consciousness constrained. The double-slit experiment in quantum physics reveals something that ancient mystics have known for millennia. Consciousness directly influences physical reality at the subatomic level. Particles behave differently when observed than when unobserved, suggesting that the very act of perception alters the physical world. This isn't abstract theory. It's scientific evidence that your mental body is continually shaping the reality you experience. The power of your mental body extends beyond your personal experience. It either amplifies or negates the effectiveness of your other elemental bodies. A strong earth element, physical body, means nothing if your mental programming tells you, "I'm always sick." Your emotional water element can't flow freely if your thoughts constantly dam it with judgments like, "I shouldn't feel this way." Your air element can literally cancel out the power of your other bodies through contradiction and self-sabotage. What happens when your mental body conflicts with your spiritual body? Your analytical thoughts constantly override your intuitive guidance. That gut feeling pointing you toward an opportunity gets immediately shot down by logical objections. That creative inspiration gets suffocated by thoughts of what others might think. This perpetual battle between your air and fire elements creates a state of confusion and self-doubt that paralyzes your manifestation abilities. Meditation offers a powerful method for clearing mental pollution, not as an escape from reality, but as a way to see beyond the constructed limitations of your mind. By observing your thoughts rather than being absorbed by them, you create space between your awareness and your mental programming. In this space lies the freedom to question whose thoughts you're really thinking, and to consciously choose which ones serve your highest evolution. Beyond the calming stillness of meditation lies the most fiercely suppressed element of your being, your spiritual fire. Throughout history, powerful institutions haven't just neglected this aspect of human consciousness, they've actively worked to extinguish it. Why would religious organizations spend millennia creating elaborate hierarchies positioning themselves as exclusive gatekeepers to divine connection? The uncomfortable truth is that your inner fire, when fully activated, renders all external control systems completely powerless against you. Your spiritual body, the fire element, isn't just another aspect of your being. It's the divine spark that animates and activates all other elements. Without it, your physical body becomes merely biological machinery, your emotions remain stagnant waters, and your thoughts circle endlessly without purpose or direction. This spiritual fire represents your connection to higher dimensions, your intuitive guidance system, and the unique creative force that only you can bring into this world. Look closely at how traditional religious structures operate. they consistently position themselves as intermediaries between you and divinity. They create complex rituals, hierarchical priesthoods, and elaborate dogmas, all designed with one purpose: to convince you that your connection to spiritual power must be mediated through their approved channels. This isn't accidental. A direct, personal connection to your spiritual fire would make external spiritual authorities unnecessary. Indigenous cultures have long understood the transformative power of fire rituals, using them to symbolize renewal and the release of negative energies. These practices weren't simply symbolic. They were technological tools for activating the fire element within the human energy system. Yet these empowering practices have been systematically dismissed as primitive or demonic by institutions threatened by individual spiritual sovereignty. Perhaps the most insidious suppression tactic has been teaching you to fear your own shadow. The shadow, those parts of yourself you've rejected, repressed, or denied, contains tremendous creative potential. When you're taught to fear and suppress these aspects rather than integrate them, you're essentially cutting yourself off from half your spiritual power. Your shadow isn't your enemy. It's the fuel for your inner fire. Think about this. The parts of yourself you've been taught to hide, your anger, your wildness, your sexuality, your power, are precisely the aspects that, when properly integrated, fuel your most profound creative manifestations. The irony is breathtaking. By convincing you to fear and reject these shadow elements, you've been disconnected from the very source of your manifestation power. The neurological effects of spiritual practices like meditation and breathwork have been scientifically proven to enhance brain function and promote emotional regulation. These aren't just feel-good exercises. They're rewiring your neural pathways, creating increased connectivity in brain regions associated with self-awareness and emotional processing. Why wouldn't mainstream education make these powerful tools central to child development? Because self-aware, emotionally regulated humans are extraordinarily difficult to manipulate. Even in modern spiritual communities, a subtle form of fire suppression persists through what's called spiritual bypassing, focusing exclusively on love and light while avoiding the necessary shadow work. This approach actually weakens your manifestation abilities by ignoring the transformative potential of the fire element. True spiritual awakening isn't about escaping your darkness. It's about transforming it into light. When you engage in shadow work, the conscious integration of those rejected parts of yourself, you experience significant psychological benefits, including improved emotional resilience and a greater capacity for compassion toward yourself and others. This isn't just therapeutic, it's essential for unlocking your full manifestation potential. Every aspect of yourself that you reject requires energy to keep suppressed. When you integrate these aspects, you reclaim that energy for creative purposes. Imagine a fire that's been dampened for years, suddenly being allowed to burn fully. That's what happens when you begin consciously working with your spiritual fire. The symptoms of suppression, chronic fatigue, lack of passion, creative blocks, spiritual disconnection, begin to dissolve as your authentic creative energy flows freely again. That spiritual fire you're reclaiming was never meant to burn in isolation. What if I told you the most influential spiritual text in Western civilization contains a secret elemental code so powerful that religious authorities have systematically concealed its true meaning for centuries? The four Gospels weren't random spiritual accounts haphazardly assembled. They form a comprehensive system for human transformation that would make external spiritual authorities entirely unnecessary. Why would the most profound spiritual teachings be divided into precisely 4 Gospels? This wasn't a coincidence, but a deliberate encoding of elemental wisdom. These ancient texts, studied religiously for 2 millennia, contain a blueprint for mastering the 4 elements within yourself that has been hiding in plain sight. While billions have read these words as literal history, their true purpose was far more revolutionary. They were designed as an initiatory manual for complete self-mastery. Each gospel was meticulously crafted to teach mastery of a specific elemental body. The Gospel of Mark, the most action-oriented and shortest gospel, serves as your guide to the fire element. Notice how it portrays Jesus as a dynamic force of will, constantly in motion, performing miracles with decisive authority. This wasn't merely storytelling, but precise spiritual technology, teaching you how to cultivate and direct your spiritual fire. When you study Mark through this elemental lens, you begin to understand how to harness your inner fire without being consumed by it. Matthew's Gospel takes a dramatically different approach. Have you noticed how it contains far more teachings, parables, and extended discourse than Mark? This wasn't a stylistic choice, but purposeful construction. Matthew is your guidebook to mastering the air element. The Sermon on the Mount and other extensive teachings aren't merely moral instructions, but technologies for activating your higher mind. The air element of your consciousness responds to these teachings by expanding beyond limited perception, enabling you to see reality from a higher perspective. Perhaps most fascinating is the Gospel of John, distinctly different from the other 3 with its poetic, mystical language. John's Gospel wasn't intended as historical documentation, but as a profound guide to emotional body mastery. Its emphasis on love, the Word, and mystical union reveals the secrets of the water element within you. The famous God is Love teaching isn't just a theological statement, but a practical instruction for how emotional energy shapes reality. John teaches you to transform your emotions from turbulent waves to clear, still waters that accurately reflect divine consciousness. While the other Gospels have their own elemental focus, the Gospel of Luke completes this quadrinity with its emphasis on the earth element. Have you ever wondered why Luke contains more accounts of healing, service to others, and practical application than the other Gospels? Luke's focus on physical healing, proper use of resources, and service to humanity provides a complete manual for mastering your physical vehicle. Its unique emphasis on Jesus healing the sick wasn't just recording miracles, but teaching you how to work with the earth element for physical mastery. This interpretation isn't some modern invention. Mystery schools throughout history have preserved this understanding. The early Gnostic Christians, the Essenes, and various esoteric traditions recognized these elemental teachings before they were systematically suppressed. Why would religious authorities hide such powerful knowledge? The answer is uncomfortably simple. When you master all 4 elements within yourself, you no longer need external authority figures to connect you with the divine. The organized religious structures that emerged in the centuries after Jesus had a vested interest in maintaining their position as intermediaries. By promoting literal interpretations while suppressing esoteric readings, they effectively concealed the transformative technology embedded in these texts. This wasn't just about control, it was about preventing ordinary people from discovering their extraordinary potential. While religious authorities concealed the elemental wisdom in sacred texts, nature itself has been broadcasting this same knowledge through a cosmic timing system hiding in plain sight. Have you ever noticed how sometimes your manifestations succeed effortlessly, while other times they fail miserably despite your best efforts? This isn't random chance or your imagination. The secret lies not in how hard you push, but when you choose to act. And this ancient wisdom is encoded in the very seasons that silently govern your life. What our ancestors understood, and what modern society has deliberately disconnected us from, is that the 4 seasons aren't merely weather patterns. They are powerful manifestation gateways that either amplify or diminish your elemental energy. The Egyptians didn't just build their entire civilization around seasonal cycles for agricultural convenience. They recognized these cycles as the fundamental rhythm of consciousness itself. Think about this. You're not just living through 4 different weather patterns each year. You're experiencing 4 distinct energetic fields, each resonating with a different elemental frequency. When you work against these natural currents, you're essentially swimming upstream against a cosmic river, exhausting yourself while making minimal progress. Spring carries the air element's energy, a time when the mental body naturally awakens and expands. This is why you often experience sudden clarity and fresh ideas during this season. Research shows people experience measurably increased creativity and motivation during spring months. Yet most people squander this natural mental boost by maintaining the same routine they follow year-round. As spring transitions to summer, the fire element ignites within you. This is nature's action phase, when your spiritual will and passion naturally intensify. Summer isn't just about warmer weather. It's a cosmic window where your fire element receives maximum solar amplification. Ancient cultures worldwide structured their most important festivals and rituals during the season precisely because they understood this energetic alignment. When autumn arrives, the water element flows more strongly through your emotional body. This isn't coincidence, it's cosmic design. Aligning your intentions with the natural cycles of the earth can create a powerful synergy that enhances your ability to manifest your desires, as experts in seasonal manifestation have observed. Autumn creates the perfect energetic conditions for emotional release, reflection, and letting go, processes essential for manifestation, but that modern society teaches us to suppress or postpone indefinitely. Winter brings us full circle to the earth element, a time when the physical body craves rest, integration, and grounding. Yet the modern world expects consistent productivity regardless of season. This fundamental misalignment creates a perpetual energetic deficit. The ancient Chinese didn't retreat indoors during winter merely to escape the cold. They understood this as the critical season for consolidating energy and allowing physical manifestation to take root. What makes this knowledge so dangerous to established power structures? Because it reveals that timing is not arbitrary. There are optimal windows for different types of manifestation work. And when you align with these natural rhythms, you can achieve in weeks what might otherwise take years of struggle. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Beyond the 4 seasons, you're simultaneously experiencing personal seasonal cycles in your own life, cycles that may or may not align with the calendar seasons. This is why 2 people can experience radically different manifestation results despite using identical techniques. One person might be in their personal summer phase, while another is in their winter, requiring completely different approaches. The evidence is undeniable. Studies in environmental psychology have documented how human performance and creativity fluctuate with seasonal changes. people consistently demonstrate higher productivity and creative output during spring and summer compared to fall and winter months. These aren't just mood shifts, they're measurable changes in your elemental energy distribution. The question isn't whether these cycles are affecting you, they absolutely are. The question is whether you'll continue working against them or finally learn to synchronize your manifestation efforts with these powerful cosmic currents. When you understand which seasonal energy you're currently in, both externally and internally, you unlock a level of manifestation precision that few ever discover. Synchronizing with cosmic currents is powerful, but it's merely preparation for something far more transformative. What would change in your life if you could consciously direct the flow of elemental energies through your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies simultaneously? This isn't theoretical speculation. It's the exact methodology that history's most formidable manifestors used to achieve what others dismissed as impossible. While they guarded this knowledge fiercely, the veil surrounding these techniques has finally thinned enough for me to reveal what could be the most powerful alignment system ever developed. The 4-element alignment technique serves as the master key that unlocks your complete manifestation potential. This system doesn't just enhance your ability to attract what you want, it fundamentally transforms your relationship with reality itself. What makes this method so revolutionary is that it works with all 4 elemental bodies simultaneously, creating a harmonized field where manifestation becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Why has this technique remained hidden for so long? The answer lies in its extraordinary power. Throughout history, those who discovered these methods realized that releasing them prematurely could destabilize carefully constructed power structures. When individuals can directly access and harmonize their elemental energies, they no longer require intermediaries, authorities, or external validation. You become sovereign in the truest sense, capable of shaping reality through your aligned intention rather than struggling against conflicting internal forces. Let me walk you through the components of this system, starting with earth alignment. This foundational practice begins with specialized breathwork techniques that regulate your nervous system and enhance energy flow through your physical body. As you engage in deep, rhythmic breathing, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, shifting from the stress response that blocks manifestation to a state of relaxed receptivity where creation flourishes. This isn't just mindless breathing, it's a precise calibration of your biochemistry to support rather than sabotage your intentions. The water harmony method addresses the emotional body through a visualization practice that transmutes blocked emotions into pure manifestation fuel. Imagine yourself standing beside a clear, flowing stream. As you connect with this water element, visualize emotional blockages being released into the current, dissolving and transforming into pure creative energy. This isn't about suppressing difficult emotions, but alchemizing them into powerful catalysts for manifestation. For the air clarity process, the technique shifts to focus on mental patterns. Unlike conventional positive thinking approaches, this method works with the neurological infrastructure of belief itself. Through specific meditation practices that balance the air element, you create space between thoughts, allowing you to observe and reprogram limiting mental constructs. This process enhances cognitive function while building new neural pathways that support rather than undermine your intentions. The most potent component may be the fire activation ritual, which awakens your spiritual body through creative expression. This isn't about religious devotion, but connecting with the spark of divine creativity within you. As you engage with this practice, you'll experience a sensation of warmth spreading through your body as your spiritual fire ignites, bringing heightened intuition and a profound sense of purpose that fuels all manifestation efforts. What makes this system truly revolutionary is how these 4 practices integrate into a unified field of manifestation power. When practiced in sequence, they create a synchronized harmony between all aspects of your being. No longer will your emotions contradict your thoughts, or your physical sensations undermine your spiritual insights. Instead, every layer of your consciousness aligns toward a single point of focused intention. The neurological and physiological effects of these practices have been documented through research on enhanced emotional regulation, reduced stress levels, and improved cognitive function. Regular practitioners report not just better manifestation results, but profound transformation in how they experience reality itself. Their relationships improve, creativity flows effortlessly, and synchronicities become commonplace rather than rare occurrences. This technique isn't just for spiritual adepts or manifestation experts. It can be integrated into daily life through simple practices. Grounding in nature connects you to earth energy. Emotional expression balances water. Mental clarity exercises harmonize air. And creative expression ignites fire. These seemingly simple actions, when performed with intention and understanding, become powerful tools for maintaining elemental balance. The moment is now. You've journeyed through the 4 elements, witnessed their power, and glimpsed the potential harmony waiting within you. What happens next is entirely your decision. Studies reveal a troubling reality. 70% of those who encounter transformative knowledge never actually apply it. They consume wisdom like entertainment, then return to their elemental chaos, wondering why nothing changes. As Tony Robbins powerfully stated, the path to success is to take massive, determined action. This isn't just another video to watch and forget. The ancient knowledge is now yours. What will you do with it?